Dun, 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 dun. Trusty Abe, Trusty Abe. You know the drill. Alright, so I'm going to share this tab. And so going to be going back to some more of that video from Area of 1 that I started last night. Oh, it says Brojo's still live. I thought he shut the stream down. Anyway, still experiencing tech issues. Still sober as fuck. I also have an intermission video which I may play if I receive a call, because I might be receiving a call in the middle of this. And if I do, then whatever. It's all good. It's kind of a longer video. Apologies. I forgot to share the original video from last night, so I fixed that for the last video, and this one as well. Link is in the description if you want to go check that out. But you know, we're going to be reviewing it over time in its entirety here. So, and who we got? Hey, Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. Happy Friday. Good to see you. Just gonna move this thing over here. Let me give it a second to stabilize. It is Friday. I will be possibly trying to host an open room tomorrow. Missing Mod, hey, good to see you. I am doing fucking fantastic. I won't tell you too much about my day, because, well, you know, it was a good day. And started strong, it ended well, and hopefully we'll get a little more sleep than last night. Yeah, it was tough, but I had to take my prescription medication, so once that kicks in, I'll be shutting down. Hopefully I won't take it. Well, I already took it, so last night I waited till like after midnight, and it was a shit show, so. Oh, thank you. Happy to be doing well. It's like, you know, moment to moment, you know, whatever they say, it's one day at a time or some shit. Okay, so. So yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, the short version of the story. I went for a walk with, you know, a friend, and we picked up a baby, which was, you know, not scheduled. You know, cute baby. You know, like I'm cool with that. And I'm not watching the baby. The baby's over there now. But you know, I was hanging out with the baby for a while. We went to a meeting with the baby, and yeah, it was fine. It was good.
Okay. And then they got rules that only apply to them. And this is why, you know, the Bible's for Christians. Yes.
True that. Let's jump right back into it. All right, this is from Area of 1. For those of you who don't know, again, I put the video link in the description box, and so if you're interested, you can check that out. But this is Atheist for Hire has fake meltdown over the Bible. Lol.
It's not for religious folk. Because somewhere, just like these atheists, these Muslims read somewhere where you can treat your woman like this, and they misinterpreted, probably misinterpreted their own Quran, let alone the Bible. Okay? And, you know, but getting back to this, you know, I just felt I needed to say that because.
So yeah, if you missed it last night, you know, when we left off, DeRoy was at his middle of his commentary here, and was calling Muslims Arabs and stuff like that. It's really not that dramatic. She's a little overly dramatic, but it does seem a little bit like for show. I don't think she's really as upset as she's um, acting here. You know, she's trying to like hype it up probably for clicks. But these guys are certainly taking it that way.
Because I was reading yesterday the very verses, because there is a Arab girl, very pretty young Arab girl, who has a YouTube channel where she talks about, you know, things like what Muslims say about the Bible. She never became a Muslim. She grew up here in America, and all her family and friends and that want her to become Muslim and wanted her to go visit her country and all like that. And she's had guys, as you watch her channel, she had guys hit on her and want her to be a Muslim wife and all this kind of stuff. And she started, and this is how she created her channel, she started clashing back, letting them know, I'm a born-again Christian, this is what the Bible says, and this is what's wrong with your religion. And this is an Arab girl, straight out of Syria, you know, that part of the world that's saying this kind of stuff. Okay.
This reminds me of that fucking Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, where he goes, "Yeah, man, it's that Turkish stuff. So let's set them Arabs off." He goes, "Arabs from Turkey? What?" Oh no, there's a lot more commentary from DeRoy than actual content of the video, from what I could see. But he does go on for quite a bit. There's like another hour left of this, and I don't think the original video is very long. Hey, Big Love William, good to see you.
Letting you know how a lot of atheists and a lot of Muslims read the Bible wrong, and where Muslims really act out. See, in the Bible we have what went on yesterday as opposed to today. We're free today not to practice polygamy, slavery. He's going to talk about that and all that. Okay? But back then that was the culture. Okay? Whereas Muslims try to practice what went on yesterday, they try to fulfill that today. This is why there's terrorism. This is why because their Quran told them way back then to do that. And there's no timelines. The Bible's got timelines. The Bible has.
So he thinks that Christians are exempt from biblical, like that's like we don't have to have slavery because there's a timeline in the Bible. Does it say that? Does it say at some point? Like, I don't remember that part. I think we've had this conversation before, though. Not, I mean, somewhere on this channel. So, okay. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure there's no point when Jesus actually abolishes slavery.
Has a new covenant and an old covenant. We're in the new covenant. Jesus said in the new covenant, all that stuff, the Levites, the sacrifices, the tabernacle, except for a symbolism of heaven, all that is gone. All we are concerned about is your salvation, where you stand with Christ, just like this girl said. It's all about this and that until we get to the part about the Bible where Jesus comes in. But even Jesus condemned people to hell. Even Jesus said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword.
And for those of you who missed it, she didn't say anything about any of that so far in this narrative. She's just talking about the atrocities committed in Genesis. So.
Wait till she reads that. She's really going to go, on another 10-day period. I mean, she's really going to freak out. Okay? When she finds out that Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit are a Trinity. And they say the same stuff. They just say it at different times and in different situations. But they say the same stuff. Jesus said, I don't come to bring peace, I come to bring the sword. She didn't get to that part yet. He said, I came to separate a mother and a father from their children. In-laws against in-laws and all just for my sake. Why? Because Christ comes first. And if you don't have Christ, you don't have the proper interpretation of marriage, sex, having children, parenting, religion, nothing. It's all about Christ. Once you got Christ, the war is over. But until you get Christ, you got to fight and go crazy because, you know, you're trying to find out what it's all about. You don't know yet. You're trying to find out what it's all about. And this girl got the nerve and the audacity to put on this show. And you can tell she's taking and you can tell she's tripping.
The audacity? What's up, Captive Desk? Good to see you. You gotta talk with Oz? Ooh, I gotta go check that out. Jesus Christ. Oh, no, don't be sorry, it's fine. Say his name 3 times, maybe he'll appear. What's up, Nanny Biz?
She's purposely doing this for the atheist community. She's a hired atheist. She might even be getting paid to do this dumb video. But, point is, it is nice to watch.
Tree with the tribe that raped the sister. Yeah. And this is the 12 sons of Israel. And then as they say, get circumcised, and then as they're waiting to get circumcised, as they're healing from getting circumcised, they go in and destroy an entire village in vengeance for their daughter. And then you read that and you're like, oh yeah, God's in that. And it's like, no, later it talks about those brothers who did that had blood on their hands. You know, and so and even Israel says that about them. So it's like, just because you read something in the Bible, that does not mean that God's endorsing what you read in the Bible. Just because Cain killed Abel
doesn't mean you should kill your brother.
Yeah, that's not what that means, right? And so I think this is just a basic, unfortunately, a basic categorical error. It's like watching a Quentin Tarantino movie and thinking that because Quentin Tarantino has a racist character, that Quentin Tarantino himself is racist. Missing that Quentin Tarantino is trying to tell a whole story.
Yeah.
Right? And by the way, those are like real critiques against Quentin Tarantino. That's how far gone people were. Like, they didn't understand that this dude's trying to tell a real story, and the character might be racist, and therefore, right, the entire movie is racist. Like, no, the character.
Is he trying to say that, like, Django is fucking historical fiction? Does he, or I mean, you know, like, not historical fiction? I meant, you know, like, that's because I think the criticism that was leveled was like that Tarantino couldn't say that. Iron Atheist. I don't know what that means. Yeah, that's not me. That's DuRoy. Doesn't turn off his microphone when he's listening to the video, evidently. So it's a result of the video we're watching. As a youth, Cain was a group needing Cain's, and Abel were simply Abel? Okay. Alright. But yeah, Django is not based on a true story, you know. So, and I think the criticism against Tarantino was that he basically he did it too well, right? Like, he wrote those characters to be believable, and like there's something like you know, like, oh, you can't do that as a white person, but that was like some fringe of people who were angry about that. Oh, thank you much. I will definitely check that out. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
character that's clearly the bad guy, and this bad guy is getting exposed. So, yeah, foundationally, this is just a categorical error on her part that she doesn't understand the difference between descriptive and prescriptive passages. Let's let her cook a little more, though.
Out of like the 400 pages I've read so far, this isn't okay. Like, this isn't okay.
There's a lot of war in the Bible, but you know what? There's a lot of war through history. Like, there's a lot of bad things that have happened throughout history
In the last 30 years.
Yeah. And so the world is chaotic. On its own devices, the world is chaotic. It's always been chaotic. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be surprised when we discover aspects of history that are chaotic. We should be intrigued when we find times.
So they just tried to shoot a man, and we're probably going to find out he lost a part of his ear. Get off of there. Bye. He lost a part of his ear. I meant to put this on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. No, I don't want to do that. So we just had President Trump, former President Donald Trump.
Just before I let this man go on, is it okay? It's working now. May I just point out that again, this guy over here, wrong direction, all the way over there, is describing like the narrative in Genesis as historical fact, which there's fucking simply no evidence for, right? Other than the Bible, right? So that's problem number one. And so, okay, he's gonna go on some narrative about Trump, but that was a funny little fucking hiccup that he just had there. I was amused.
Trump gets shot at. Over what? He never killed anybody. We were schooled that sticks and stones may break my bones, but names can't. You know, trying to keep people from fighting over words. Black people love to fight over words. You could be going on a weekend vacation. Hey, my brother, so good to see you. It's been a long time. How's life doing? And all like that. And all of a sudden, y'all disagree over orange soda or something, or disagree over McDonald's or whatever, or disagree over politics about something, you know, or disagree over a thug that went to jail clearly for the crimes that he committed. Okay, and next thing you know, y'all trying to kill each other, and ain't nobody here to break it up but your two wives. And one of them gonna get hurt or stabbed or something in the crossfire. They gotta call the cops on their own husbands. Black folks love to get in fights over nothing. I mean, people at my job, and my job is predominantly black, they purposely go around that I'm a Trump supporter, knowing this, knowing what's going on, so they can see what happens to me. Because they want to see something happen to me. And then, oh yeah, I told him, yeah, but you went around, you didn't keep this conversation between us as two black brothers, as you put it.
I hate to say it, I mean, I think the majority of your fellow black Americans would say that you're voting against your own interest and also theirs, right? So I don't think it's intended to incite violence. any more than I feel like, white dudes calling me a liberal, or anybody of any color calling me a liberal, like that's not necessarily intended to incite violence, but oh, you can cuss. The guy on the right was freeze frame making the sign for vagina in sign language. Yeah, no, that's fine. Leave in a young earth from the Bible, but folks say it's a dissonance of cognitive dissonance. So we argue as we both walk past Peter at the pearly gates. No thanks. Yeah, it'd be a hard argument, I suppose.
Okay, you decided to go around and flash my name and let everybody in the world, you'll say it on the bus, you'll say it on the street, you'll say it in the ghetto, you'll say it in this neighborhood, that neighborhood, you'll say it anywhere, let them know, oh yeah, well you want to talk about that around him, he's a Trump supporter. Knowing that could turn in 2 seconds, some idiot could try and hurt me or something because I call it jealousy. That I'm smarter than him. Did I come from a higher part of life? Did I come from a better part of life than him? And that's the way he sees it. So therefore, he's going to attack me.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that is not the way anybody sees it. People on the liberal side are not perceiving you as being more intelligent. They're for voting for Trump. That's a farce, clearly. But okay, do we all understand our vote for president doesn't count? Yeah, no, I had a thing about that, and I was going to go on a rant, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't, but this whole thing with Biden dropping and Kamala and all this stuff, I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's a fucking circus, man. It is a shit show, And there's a meme circulating which I think is fucking hilarious. It's like, it basically says, it's like the roles are reversed, right? Because the Law and Order Party is voting for a fucking felon, right? And then the Liberal Party is voting for a fucking, basically a hard-ass prosecutor who's like, I think she was part of that whole, like the post-Reagan war on drugs, right? Like when it was still going.
Or he's going to try and say things until I say, hold up, man. Until I get the point, hold up, man, look. This is a free country. I can vote for whoever the heck I want to vote for. Okay? But what was I going to say here before I got off on that? Oh, the fact that they took a shot at this man. What did he do? I thought that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can't. He didn't do anything. He just said, let's make America great again. And you decided you can't interpret the Bible, but you can let's make America great again as a racist statement. Let's make America great. What do you mean make America great again? He gonna take us back to slavery. Did he say that? You mean to tell me all them white folks, black folks, I guess they're idiots, and all the Hispanics, I guess them are idiots, and all the gay people, I guess them are idiots. All them people supporting Donald Trump. Okay, I guess they're all idiots. especially the ones that are brown skinned and gay.
As far as I know, that's like a very small fraction of any of those minorities that would still support Trump. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that some do exist. Yeah, they're voting against their own interest. You know, and it's not necessarily Trump himself. Um, like Nanya said, the side. I mean, it's the parties, right? And so, yeah, I just don't see any of these people as fucking legitimate anymore. And I just, yeah, that's why. I mean, this is obviously a complete fucking tangent. It has nothing to do with anything we're reviewing in this video, and I don't even see how he got from A to F. But you know, there we are. So, God bless Las Americas, lands that I love. Well, Venezuela is a part of OPEC, with blessings, yeah.
I guess they're all idiots, but they support Donald Trump. Either they're interpreting "Make America Great Again" wrong, or either you're interpreting making America Great Again wrong, or this girl is interpreting the Bible wrong. Okay.
Yeah, and as far as, you know, MAGA as a slogan, it's just vacuous, right? It doesn't mean much of anything, and you know, I that's not really the main issue. I mean, it is one issue, right? Because you could point to it and be like, oh, well, at what time are you saying that America was great and who was it great for and all of that good shit, right? But it's the actual policies that he's pursuing that I mean, make him an obvious obviously detrimental to any progress that has been made since, like, I don't know, the 40s. But you know, whatever, right? I'm not even gonna get further involved in that in this one because it's just it's kind of a waste, and it's really deterring from whatever the fuck we're actually supposed to be talking about. But DeRoy is good at doing that, so.
Like, we have a lot of people in America today that are just delusional. I don't understand how you made it through college. Like I dropped out of college because I couldn't do 16 hours a day, raise kids, okay, raise my two girls that were, you know, couldn't leave them in the house by themselves and all like that. I dropped out because my job wouldn't support me going to college, and I couldn't do 16 hours a day. My IQ isn't all that great. I don't have that kind of, like, you know, I'm going to just get up in the middle of the night and scribble, and handle these math problems and then get a good grade and let's move on. It don't work that way for me. Okay, while I'm working 16 hours a day, even on Saturday and Sunday, and I got two girls to raise and I got to put them through school. Like, get out of here, okay? It wasn't happening, all right? But most of these people, like, how does Don Lemon not know that initially, how did Don Lemon have that dumb conversation with Candace Owens about homosexuality? I think just like this girl right here, he's putting on a show. He knows. Where'd you get the word homophobic from? Oh, that's new. You know, back in the day, we didn't have homophobia. We had either you.
This man knows, like, how long is homophobia as a concept has been around forever. When did they come up with the term? Um, originated in the 60s. How old is this man? And prior to that, 1908. Wait. Yeah, so the modern term homophobia came about in the 60s. So this traces back to particular attitudes in antiquity, back to 600 AD. And, even to the 8th and 6th centuries BC. So as a concept, it existed for a long time. We came up with this word in the 60s, right? Let's see, is there anything more we can get? Oh yeah, right here. In China, homophobia became ingrained in the late... I'm going to try to pronounce that. Homosexual behavior was outlawed in 1740. The Soviet Union under Lenin decriminalized homosexuality in 1922. So, I mean, you'd say like, oh, we didn't have a word for that before, according to this, it's 69. Right. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. It's just, yeah, it's a fear of phobia, yeah. I don't need a license to have kids, in my humble opinion. No, that seems to be the case. Although maybe we should, at this point. I don't know. No, that would be too far.
Either you get along with homosexuals or you don't. Either you can homosexuals. Either you hate homosexuals or you don't. Either homosexuals are safe around you or they're not. There wasn't no, oh well, we know that we know that you as a woman, as a female, ain't gonna put your hands on a homosexual. But are you homophobic?
Yeah, and specifically, I mean, it's one thing you can hate anybody you want based on whatever. Like that's your your prerogative to have your opinions and stuff, right? What you don't have the right to do is deprive other people of their rights and their liberties because you don't like their lifestyle, right? At least in this country. So yeah. Is that a blanket on your window, or are you just happy to see me? Hey, Zach. Yeah, happy to see you as well. No, it's actually a curtain, the blackout curtain or whatever. It's not made for that, but I've got it like doubled over, and it's really dark. So because the sun comes right in this direction pretty early in the morning, so and I don't wake up that early right now. So At least I try not to, if I can help it.
Let me answer that real easily. Maybe I am. It doesn't matter. What matters is I'm not putting your butt through slavery for being a homosexual, because this is 2024. Even Christians understand that, and they're okay with it because they really don't want to. But you don't believe that. So who cares? This is why we have jail systems. Okay? You can believe whatever you want to believe, and I'll believe is whatever I want to believe, as long as we don't put our hands on each other. But I guarantee you, you'll put your hands on me before I put my hands on you. You'll try to enslave me before I'll ever try to enslave you.
Yeah, and right there I'll interject and say that's precisely why hate crime legislation exists, because historically it's not gay men beating up straight men, it's straight men beating gay men, sometimes to death, for making a pass at them. And that's happened many, many times historically. And because in the Bible, it says, all kinds of nasty shit about them or whatever. Through other religious interpretations, you can find it all over religion. And so people have committed really fucking heinous crimes because they were homophobic, right? Because they were offended or scared of another person of the same sex or gender, just making a pass at them, right? So that's why this shit exists, right? Because, I don't know how to, it's fucking ridiculous. Only a fool would say what? I don't know what you're talking about. Nyes Newstone? Welcome. Hello there.
Who am I talking to? The idiots that would come to my channel and agree with this girl and feel sorry for her or laugh at her knowing she's joking and they're in on a joke. She's joking. When she hits that end button, it's going to be like, "Hey mom, hey boyfriend, hey, you got my eggs ready?" I mean, she
The only point I will agree on here is she is acting extremely dramatic. If she is really crying, I don't know. I don't know anything about this content creator, but it is a very, very overly dramatic response. Although some people do react to shit that way. It's kind of the way of the world these days. So being reactionary definitely gets you a lot of attention.
she's faking. She's putting on a show. She can't even get tears to come out of her eyes. She's faking so much. She's not having a meltdown, as the video puts it. She is a poster girl for the atheist community. That's what she is. Okay? But you know what? I'm so glad I am a Christian. But it's funny, though, it's crazy how we live in a country where girls that'll have meltdowns over the Bible like this. And I'm not saying she did, but there's people like her that'll have a meltdown over the Bible and then say, "Ah ha ha ha, they tried to kill Donald Trump. Too bad."
Yeah, potentially. No, she is not a poster girl or poster child for the atheist community. And if you look around, most of the atheist skeptic community is, comprised of fairly rational and intelligent people who like to have, uh, uh, you know, intelligent conversations. Sure, reaction videos are a dime a dozen. This one is extremely dramatic, and I've seen a lot of atheist content. This is not the norm at all. Nanya Biz says, 2 men shall be lying in bed, 1 shall be taken. We'll bring up the scripture of the 2 women grinding. Yeah. They're not, it's always gay men. People aren't nearly as phobic of lesbians. In fact, a lot of the same people who will bash gay men also like lesbian porn. Oh, that's okay. But, whatever.
Bad they miss. God darn it. They just, somebody need to teach them how to shoot. But you want to have a meltdown over something that was what, way back in AD or BC? Do you know how long ago that was? Come on now.
Of history or times or parts of the world today that aren't. After the incredible success of our Bless God prayer journal, many of you guys began to ask for something that had a planner. And so we
want to hear that.
Leadership meeting planner. We can start out with plans based off of Matthew 25, 14 through 30, with of course parable of the talent. The vision of the planner is to help you make the most of your talents and treasure. Head over to blessgod.shop. Alright, I'll see you over there. Peace. Like that's what you get our attention. You look at history, you look at other parts of the world, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's chaotic. It's like, no, that's neutral. Like that is man. Like humanity is wild.
I don't know if it's just me or if it seems like the echo is getting progressively worse as he goes through this video. And he's just not. Hopefully he watched this back and realized it. Maybe he'll figure out how to fucking mute his microphone while he's watching this or something. I don't know. We say common era now. That is the more standard. Yeah. But it depends on your sources, obviously, so.
Wild. History is wild. History is dark. Look at history and go, oh my gosh. Bad things. No, you look at history and go, wait. When have there not been things that have been happening? When have people not been starving and dying in pointless wars? Right? And I think that's what we should be intrigued by. What are the ideas? What are the systems? And what are the times that have led to lack of chaos. Not chaos.
She's probably going to say it at the end, but I'm going to tell you early because I don't even know if I want to watch it to the end. But all that is in the Bible. When I don't know what's wrong with her. When I first read in the Bible of somebody being raped, with the context. See, when I read about a girl getting raped, I see a family under the power. I see politics. I see, I'm looking at the nation where this happened. I'm looking at the time in the world, in life where this happened. And, I'm looking at the location. I'm looking at the race. I'm looking at the culture. I'm looking at what this has to do with the Bible. And as a kid, I saw all this stuff. This girl's older than when I first read the Bible through. She's in her 20s, at least, if not older. Okay? I was a teenager when I first read the Bible all through. And I didn't read it in the literal translation. I read it in the Living Bible. The Living Bible will show you the Bible. Like the Living Bible doesn't hold nothing, just adds to. Some of the things are like, that's not what the translation says, but the Living Bible just lets it all out. It just raises it and lets it all out. And to me, I was kind of like, I need to be careful with the Bible because, I need the Bible under the direction of the Holy Spirit, because some of the stuff in this Bible make me horny. Some of the stuff in here, some of the stuff make me horny. Some of the stuff make me feel sorry.
It's just sick. Yeah, a few things. So I had to look this up because I'm a fucking Bible scholar. So according to Bible Gateway, his description there of the Living Bible is pretty accurate. A paraphrase of Old and New Testaments, with the purpose to say exactly as possible what the writers of the scriptures meant. I guess in English, which interpretation, hello. But also, like, can't we just acknowledge that obviously, even if we just say that, like, okay, the essays, the sexual assaults that happen in the Bible are documented and, accept that may be historically accurate, that from what we know about modern history, like, that would be like the tiniest fraction of sexual assault that was actually taking place at any given, in any given place, in any period of history. Like, you'd think, like, okay, if we still can't, like, properly, if we still can't say how many sexual assaults take place on average because most women can't come forward or aren't taken seriously if they do come forward, clearly that was much worse all throughout history, right? So I don't know, like, where he's trying to go with that. Oh, because it only lists, like, this many sexual assaults in the Bible, and then you're going to be like, oh, well, where did it happen? What culture was doing it? It was happening everywhere. All cultures were fucking doing it. Women were fucking property, dude, throughout the whole book, right? That's just the fact. And that's biblical law. It's not like it wasn't, this culture or that culture. That was the narrative and the story, and that was what the God of the Abrahamic faith told his people, right? That's what's in there. No matter how
afraid, and some of the stuff make me want to go out and cut somebody's head because because I don't know about her, but when I read the Bible, I immediately started picking my team. Like, I knew that I support the minute I started reading that Bible. I didn't support him. I supported Israel because the Bible is about it. The Bible's about it. All the prophecies are about Israel. There's not very prophecies about Christians. Christians are in them for the entire world minus Israel. Israel is the majority of prophecies in the Bible. Israel's storyline is majority Israel. Okay? There's nothing in the Bible about America. Okay? America came later. Okay? But yet, Christians have to be always pointed the finger at and that about what they believe. When the Bible's not about us, it's about Israel. And the Bible is not about America, it's about Israel. Okay? We are the Gentiles that got grafted in. That's who we are. We are the Gentiles that got grafted in. So there, those that escaped, those foreign nations that escaped Catholicism in those foreign nations brought Christianity into the world and into the American world and started Protestantism, and out of Protestantism came Christianity.
What? No. I think that there's just a whole bunch of inaccuracy in there. So Protestantism, Martin Luther? No, right? Was he German? And that's like way later. Began in 1517. Yeah, in fucking Germany, October 31st, 1517. Yeah, okay. So no, that's what the fuck are you talking about? That's just ignorant.
And out of Christianity, we have all these denominations, and some you can check it with your whether they are really Christian or whether they are religion. Some forms of religion are just religion, and some are actually true Christianity. Protestantism was just simply Catholicism and trying to find out what Christianity really was, because Christianity, without understanding what it is on Protestantism alone, leaves you still stuck in Catholicism and giving Catholicism strength over everybody. Catholicism, the one world religion. Whereas now that you have escaped not only Catholicism, but you escape Protestantism, you're free to be Baptist. It's called liberty in Christ. Free to be Baptist, Pentecostal, Presbyterian, Lutheran, Methodist. Okay? You're free. This is why I can't understand.
Yeah, and I think, I think America, the United States of America was among the first of nations to offer religious freedom, like as a right? And it was in part because of Catholicism, but it was also because of the Church of England, right? Which I don't think was Catholic. Church of England. Just want to be sure here. First Christian church in Britain is recorded in the 3rd century AD, and British bishops attended church councils in the 4th century. St. Augustine's 6th century mission to Kent further strengthened Christianity in England, and within 90 years, all Saxon kingdoms had converted. Okay, so that's... The Church of England's earliest origins date back to the Roman Catholic Church's influence in Europe during the 2nd century. However, the Church's official formation identity are typically thought to have started during the Reformation in England of the 16th century. So that was like Protestants against Catholics, right? Also called the Anglican Church. The Anglicans, the Church of England, created in 1534 by Henry VIII in the midst of the Protestant Reformation, with the primary motivation being to be able to annul his marriage to his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. Right. Okay. So you got a bit of your history screwy there, buddy. It's a little bit Catholicism. Like that Sylvester imitation? I think that's his real voice. I don't think he's playing. Sounds like the Southern Heritage influence. Catholics broke off at USA to start Protestants. Yeah, that was what he said. Like, that's not what happened, buddy.
People in this modern day and time going back to Catholicism and trying to give Catholicism a spot in Christianity. No, we need to. If you are Catholic and you believe that Jesus is the way, the truth, life, and it's all about him, why don't you just leave the Catholic Church? Why do we have to accept the Catholic Church into the house now? The Catholic Church, in my opinion, in my strong opinion, is still part of the house. It's still outside the house. This is inside the house. The Catholic Church is not. And yet atheists, certain third of the whole entire Christian community around the world, okay, and the Muslims and everybody, you go to atheist debate, well, you believe, and this is what I believe, and blah, 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 and okay, and I know what you're going to say. Well, excuse me, hold up, man. You sound like you're going way back in time to the Catholic Church. I am not Catholic. Can we please talk? And then they go hold on. You sound like you talking to a Muslim. I'm not a Muslim. I'm a Christian.
Well, first of all, you guys basically read the same fucking Bible, right? Like, I mean, whatever. There's all different interpretations of the Bible for all these different sects, but it's all based on the same shit, right? So that's the first problem. And I don't know what you mean by talking. I mean, any, informed atheist is clearly going to address Islam differently. They're going to address Christianity and Catholicism, right? And Judaism, for that matter. But they are all based on the same scriptures of the Old Testament in origin, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, gotta be mindful of the time. It is after 11 o'clock here, so better shut it down. Try to finish this tomorrow. Made it almost an hour into this. Like, he's looking at a 10-minute video, so he's got a lot to say here that is, partially related to whatever the hell's actually going on in this video. I don't know. He just keeps going off on, random tangents and saying stuff that, doesn't. I don't know. I guess it makes sense in him, so that's fine. I bid you all adieu and have a great evening. Meth Head Neighbor thinks the locusts are drones. That's always fun. It looks like I have something to do early in the morning, and I will be pretty busy tomorrow. So hopefully, I'll have the energy to to do something tomorrow night, but we'll see what happens. Might be a good night for an open room if I can get some headphones. So we'll work on that. As I always say at the end of every stream, because I always say the same thing at the end of every stream. Much love, be well, be kind, and stay trusty. We'll see you soon.